You're walking down a summer street with the person you love. They reach for your hand. You pause for half a breath, noticing the eyes around you. In that tiny pause lives the whole story of personal space in multicultural relationships. Maybe that pause comes from how you were raised, where affection was private and precious. Maybe your partner grew up where touch was a warm, constant backdrop, like music in a busy cafe. Neither is wrong. Both are human. Welcome to Whispered Hearts, English, where we explore how closeness and care can look different and still be true. Today is about making sense of those differences without shame. It's about turning tension into understanding. It's about choosing connection on purpose. There's a reason your shoulders tighten when public displays of affection flare up around you. Your body learned a rhythm from the homes, neighborhoods, and classrooms that shaped you. Research shows our comfort with touch and distance is trained early, then carried forward. Have you noticed a moment when your body said, "Too close," before your mind even spoke? But there's something even quieter shaping how we love. Culture teaches us choreography long before we pick our own steps. In some places, a hug is a greeting and a kiss on the cheek is ordinary. In others, a nod, a smile, or a small bow carries the same warmth without contact. Picture a fall afternoon, golden leaves skimming a park path. One couple sits hip to hip on a bench, laughing with easy arms around shoulders. Another pair shares the same bench, a few inches apart, the gap filled with soft conversation and long, calm eye contact. Which one feels like home to you? Here's a curiosity you might not expect. What if the argument you keep having isn't about touch at all? What if it's about safety signals your nervous system learned years ago? Does that change how you see your last disagreement? Therapists report that when touch feels safe, it communicates soothing and presence. When it feels forced, it communicates pressure and exposure. Your partner's request for holding hands might be a bid for reassurance, not a test. Your hesitation might be a bid for dignity, not distance. Think about the hum of a weekday train or the quiet whir of a car on the freeway at night. In those in-between places, boundaries can blur. One person craves closeness to steady nerves. The other craves space to breathe and watch the world. Have you felt those opposite needs rise at the same moment? So how do you bridge comfort levels without keeping score? Start where the body says yes. Many couples map their green, yellow, and red zones, not as rules but as guides. Green could be hand on shoulder while waiting for coffee. Yellow could be hand-holding on quiet walks, but not at a crowded office party. But there's another layer that brings relief. Agree on time and place, like you'd agree on a shared calendar. Maybe you both love small touch during evening strolls, when the streetlights flicker on and cicadas thrum in late summer. Maybe you both prefer less touch on busy commutes, when focus is thin and noise is high. Research shows small rituals help couples hold steady. A simple squeeze before crossing a street. A palm pressed to a back when you're finding seats at the movies. A whispered, "with you," while walking through a crowded hallway. Which tiny ritual could you add this week? There's also the magic of asking in the moment. Are you open to a hug? Is an invitation, not a demand. Consent doesn't kill romance. It creates it. Would asking out loud make touch feel more welcome for you or more awkward? But there's something even more powerful for long-term peace. When conflict happens, repair fast and gently. Picture this. You reached for your partner's hand in a grocery aisle. They pulled away, and your chest tightened with a rush of embarrassment. Back in the car, you both breathe. The fan is low. The afternoon light is soft on the dashboard. You say, "I felt a little rejected when I reached for you." I want to understand what felt hard about that moment. Your partner nods, looking down at the reusable bags by their feet. I felt watched. I wanted to be close, just not there. I should have said that. You answer, "Thank you for telling me." Next time, would a shoulder touch be okay in the store? They say yes. You both decide hand-holding will be for the parking lot, where it feels freer. Therapists report these repairs work because they blend clarity and kindness. You name what hurt. You assume your partner's need is reasonable, even if it's different. You create a specific plan for next time. When was the last time you tried a repair that concrete? We also need to honor how families set our early frames. Some of us grew up with cousins piled on a couch, arms thrown over shoulders. Others learned love at a little more distance, expressed through warm meals, careful listening, and steady presence. Cross-cultural affection norms are not better or worse. They are languages. But here's a twist worth holding on to. You can become bilingual in closeness. You can learn to speak your partner's comfort without abandoning your own. That takes small experiments, not epic transformations. Are you open to one small experiment this week? Imagine a winter morning, crisp air at the door, a kettle beginning to sing. You sit at the kitchen table, palms wrapped around a mug. You try a micro-adjustment. You scoot half an inch closer, just enough to feel warmth without pressure. Your partner notices, smiles, and relaxes their shoulder toward you. Or think of a spring evening, rain pecking the windows, the scent fresh and new. You're on the couch, a blanket shared but not tangled. You run a hand along the edge between you and ask, gently, "Here, okay?" They nod, and you interlace pinkies for a quiet minute. It feels simple and grounded. Public displays of affection differences can feel loud because the world is watching. But the world isn't in your relationship. You are. The goal isn't to perform affection to meet anyone's standard. The goal is to anchor both nervous systems in safety. We also navigate multicultural relationship boundaries in private spaces. One person might want kisses before every goodbye, even short ones. The other might prefer a wave and a smile, saving deeper affection for the evening. Neither is cold or clingy. They're just tuned differently. The trick is treating boundaries as doors, not walls. Doors open both ways when there is trust. You say, "I'm stepping closer now because I want to feel near you." Or you say, "I'm stepping back now because I want to feel calm." You're not rejecting each other. You're protecting the connection. Midway through, I want you to hear this from the heart of whispered hearts. English. You are not behind because your rhythms differ. You are not broken because your partner's comfort zones in love don't match yours yet. This is a place you belong while you practice, imperfectly, and grow. Let's add one more practice that couples say changes everything. Name the story that fear is telling. Maybe the story says, "If I let go of your hand in public, you'll think I'm ashamed of you." Maybe the story says, "If I hold your hand here, I'm disloyal to what I was taught." Which story do you need to rewrite? But there's a deeper move waiting after the stories quiet down. Redefine touch and space as layered signals. A shoulder-to-shoulder walk can mean solidarity. A side hug in a family photo can mean welcome. A few feet of silence on a porch at dusk can mean trust big enough to breathe. Summer evenings carry their own music, especially when the heat finally loosens. Picture the porch light, moths circling slow, and a neighborhood dog barking once and then settling. You sit together without touching, and it still feels intimate. That's connection without pressure. On the other hand, sometimes touch is exactly what calms both of you. Standing in a long line, you place your hand on your partner's forearm and trace a small circle with your thumb. It's quiet, almost invisible. It says, "I'm here with you." Have you found a tiny signal like this? Some cultures sent a greeting as physical warmth. Others sent a greeting as respectful distance. Some show romance with hand-holding at crosswalks. Others show it with repaired fences, fixed shelves, or a carefully planned dinner. Cross-cultural affection norms offer many honest ways to say, "I see you." Remember that belonging thrives when we choose curiosity over judgment. When your partner hesitates, ask what feeling they want more of in that moment. Is it privacy, steadiness, pride, or playfulness? Then offer the cue that pairs with that feeling. And when you slip, because every couple does, return fast and kind. "I went too fast just now. Can we try again?" The apology is short. The plan is clearer. The love is safer. There's a reason these moves stick. Research shows humans regulate emotion together when signals are consistent. You become each other's safe place by practicing the same response in the same situations. That's how comfort zones in love gradually expand. If you want a tiny starting ritual, try this before stepping into public. Ask what kind of closeness would feel good for you out there. Decide between linked arms, hand-holding, shoulder touch, or parallel walking. Decide where you'll switch it up if one of you gets overwhelmed. What would your menu look like? But there's one more truth worth holding close. Space can be loving. Touch can be loving. The meaning lives in intention and consent. When you both know why you're choosing a gesture, the gesture fits. On a Sunday afternoon, picture a backyard barbecue. The grill pops, kids chase a soccer ball, and laughter carries over the fence. You and your partner check in with eyes from across the yard. No touch, just a nod that says, "We're good." That nod might be your favorite kind of closeness. On a weekday night, picture a couch after a long commute. Shoes off, lights low, a show humming in the background. You tuck your feet under their thigh, light as a leaf, and they rest a hand on your ankle. You both breathe deeper. That's another language of care. Your relationship gets to hold more than one language at a time. It can expand and adapt without losing shape. It can learn new steps while honoring old ones. It can grow bilingual in kindness. As you try these ideas, invite others into the conversation. What's your comfort level with public affection? Your stories help someone else feel normal and hopeful. The comments are where we learn each other's languages. I want to say this softly and clearly as we close. There is no test to pass here. There is only practice and a promise to keep each other safe. That promise is the heart of belonging. If you are new here, whispered hearts. English exists so love can have room to breathe. We hold space for couples who want warmth without pressure, clarity without shame, and tenderness that fits real life. Your way can be the right way. You get to be proud of how you love. You get to be careful with it too. And you get to grow, one small decision at a time, into a shared rhythm that feels like you both. That's how space becomes connection. When the next pause arrives on a busy sidewalk, you'll know what to do. Maybe you take the hand. Maybe you nod and walk side by side. Either way, you'll be choosing a language that tells the truth. Because closeness is not a performance, and distance is not a verdict. They are choices that can serve love when chosen together. And that is the quiet power of personal space in multicultural relationships.